Get cozy with me.
Hello, and welcome back to the channel. And if you are listening on the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching Get Cozy with me, you can see that I am super cozy today. I'm snuggled up in on my patio, and I was like, do you know what? Hold on. I was like, I want to get some filming and stuff done today. I had a reading actually to film for my community for the Beehive. And normally, if you guys watch these videos, you see that I'm sitting in front of my couch, and I actually opened it up today because the couch folds open so that it's like a bed. And I was like, I just want to be cozy today. I don't want to be, it's not that it's not comfortable the other way I do it, because I love, I have a floor pillow that I sit on and whatnot, and it is comfortable. I sit like that often, but I just wanted to open it up and just really be cozy today because it's raining. It's August 23rd, I think. Yeah, it's August 23rd today. It's raining, and it's like in the middle of summer, and it's been a little gloomy the past couple of weeks. The weather has been kind of off, which, is fine. I'm just feeling cozy. I'm in a cozy mood today. I just want to be huddled up, and I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I'm feeling very productive, but I just am doing it in like a little hermit of a space. Anyways, I'm rambling about it now. My point is get cozy, get comfy with me. I hope you don't mind that I'm a little bit more relaxed today. I don't think you guys care, actually. You probably don't care at all. Maybe I'll film more of these like this. We'll see. Honestly, depending on the weather, maybe come the fall, I'll be filming a lot more like this. Well, we're gonna get into today's video. You'll see I'm looking at my laptop here because I have some notes because I want to make sure I hit on everything. I'm actually gonna be talking about Ozempic, the Ozempic craze. And this is something I only heard of recently, to be honest, and I did some more research into it. I didn't do extensive research into it or anything like that. I just looked into it more, and I basically realized that this is like a new thing. A lot of people are talking about Ozempic. If you're not familiar with Ozempic is a medication primarily used for managing type 2 diabetes. However, it's being used now as a weight loss supplement. I think it's been legalized. That's the word I was looking for. It's been legalized as a weight loss supplement, I think, in the States. Something like that. I don't know exactly, but people are using Ozempic to lose weight. It's become more normalized. And actually, as a result of this, I think there's actually like a medication shortage specifically for people with type 2 diabetes who use this medication for, diabetes, which is crazy. It's like people with diabetes need this. And right now it's being used for weight loss, people who don't need it. And I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. So many people glorify this. They want this. And it's like being skinny is coming back. And this is not me commenting on anybody's weight. If you're on the thinner side, naturally, there's nothing wrong with that. We all have different bodies, all different shapes, all different sizes. And some people are going to be naturally more skinny. Other people are going to be naturally bigger. And that's okay. But right now, what's coming back is being super skinny. And that can be dangerous for a lot of people. If that's not your normal weight, if that's not a healthy weight for you, it can be dangerous really trying to achieve that. So we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about my honest opinion. I'm going to kind of get into a few different things here. I just want to put out a disclaimer. This is me, my opinions, my thoughts. It's okay if you disagree with me. So yeah, I just want to have that as a little disclaimer. You can only assume that there are going to be dangers to using some sort of supplement medication that induces weight loss at a pretty rapid rate, or anything. I'm always very skeptical personally of consuming anything. I do believe that there is time and place. However, if I can, try to heal from something naturally, I will do that. And relying on something outside of yourself, I just don't think is ever healthy, regardless of what it is. But the potential side effects, nausea, vomiting, pancreatitis, thyroid tumors, there's other side effects as well. But this is not talked about. People glorify this, how you can lose weight easily. All of the celebrities are using it. All of the influencers are using it. Do they really talk about the side effects? No. Long-term health implications of using drug off-label without proper medical supervision. Like, what are the long-term health implications? Like, we don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there's so many red flags and people are choosing to turn a blind eye to these red flags because of like the instant gratification that this provides. And it's being glamorized, it's being normalized, and I think it's really toxic. I know that I've had body image issues my whole life. I've talked about this on another episode. I actually talk about it on the Multiple Truths podcast that I host with my friend Holly. We talked about both of our stories more recently, actually. So I will link that episode specifically down below. Highly recommend going to watch it. I'm not going to get into my personal body image issues in this episode. However, you can see how something like this would perpetuate body dysmorphia. It makes people feel like they need to look a certain way. So anyways, it's all kind of, tied in that sense. It just shows me how vain people are, how people will do anything to look a certain way. And I don't know, there's a lot. It's a lot. I could say a lot. And I think at the end of the day, it really stems to wounds, right? A lot of people base their worth on what they look like. I know I did for a very long time. I've been there myself, and I'm sure I was at a point in life where Ozempic would appeal to me. So I'm by no means judging anybody. I want to make that very clear. But I think it's the reason why people want this is stemming from wounds. It's stemming from needing to look a certain way because they base their worth on that. And then it's being perpetuated, and then it makes other people think that they need to look a certain way, and it's seeking self-love externally, and it's temporary. It's a temporary fix. If you take Ozempic and you look slimmer, you might feel better about yourself because of that, but it's temporary. What happens when you stop using the medication? You're not actually finding that sense of security from within, and it's being glamorized, it's being perpetuated, and little girls, young or little boys, like whoever, people who are influential are seeing this, and it's skewing their perception of beauty. It's skewing their perception of self, because by seeing these things, they might start judging themselves or feel like they need to look a certain way. Anyways, it's toxic. So I just really want to talk about a lot of that today. So let's talk about the disordered eating and mental health concerns for a little bit. Using Ozempic without a medical need. This is me talking about this when it comes to weight loss specifically. I want to make that clear. I'm not referring to this when it comes to needing it for diabetes. Okay. Two very different things. So I want to clarify that as well. But so using Ozempic without medical need can promote disordered eating habits. Back to what I was saying before, like it's almost like it's like this fear. We fear food so much, and I hear that on Ozempic it reduces your appetite. You don't want to eat as much, and I've seen some clips of these influencers who are on Ozempic and showing what they eat in a day, and a lot of it, in my opinion, from an outsider looking in, is seemingly very disordered. I've struggled with disordered eating for a long time. So based on my experience, I notice similarities, if that makes sense. So again, I'm basing it on my experience, but I've seen these things, and to me, I'm seeing like, this looks like disordered eating. This does not look healthy. They are not consuming enough to nourish their bodies. And again, I want to clarify that some people are going to naturally be slimmer than others, and just because somebody is super slim, it doesn't mean that they're not eating enough for what they need. I want to make that very clear. However, using Ozempic specifically, aiming to have this skinny body type when that's not your natural body type, can actually be very dangerous. Just because you're skinny, it doesn't mean you're healthy. Sometimes a lot of people with disordered eating are malnourished. And again, my opinion, I just want to make that very clear, but I think it's important to talk about. I feel like when you lose weight really fast, oftentimes, like if you just lose weight naturally very fast, oftentimes maybe it's because you got sick, right? Like you're sick, you're throwing up a lot, you're pooping it all out, and it's like you lose weight, right? You lose weight quickly when you're sick. Often like losing weight at a rapid rate is indicative of something being wrong in the body normally. And I feel like if you just lose this weight rapidly, there's this element of like not achieving the weight loss or not understanding, because sometimes when people gain weight for different reasons. There's often a cause. That cause can be different things, right? It could be a number of different things. And it's like, until you resolve what the root of that cause is and fix that, you're not going to really lose the weight. And if you just force yourself to lose weight quickly, I don't know, it's like you're skipping an important step. To me, it doesn't seem like it's going to be maintainable. It makes me feel like when you come off the medication, you're going to gain the weight. I heard somebody say that when they came off the the medication, they gained the weight back times 2 extremely quickly, like right away. And it's like becoming reliant on something outside of your body just really doesn't seem healthy to me. And losing weight so quickly, like with what does that do to your mental mind? Like I don't know. I know with me, I could talk about personal experience. Like I've lost weight before I did bodybuilding competitions. I remember really losing a significant amount of weight at one point, and a lot of people were commenting like, you look really good, you look good. And I really started basing my worth on that. I really started basing my worth on what my body looked like. It's like all of a sudden people are noticing. So I don't know. It's like I feel like it would like mess with your mind a little bit. And it's like, going back to what I was saying before, the instant gratification as humans, it's like what happened to delayed gratification? If you lose that, if you're needing to lose weight for whatever reason, maybe you need to lose weight for health purposes or whatever it may be, if that's your goal, like that's okay. But there's something about doing it in a healthy way, loving yourself through it. I feel like these people who feel the need to lose weight quickly, there's an element of self-love that they're lacking because they're basing their worth on their physical appearance. It's like that instant gratification. It's temporary. It's like delayed gratification, I feel like, is also maintainable when it comes to this specifically. Understanding why where is this coming from, and all of like the other deeper things. I feel like a lot of people that are using this, it's like they're using it almost to numb. It's like to numb. They don't want to face their demons. They don't want to face, because often even with losing weight requires you to face your inner demons to a certain extent, right? It's like if you realize that you've gained weight, for example, and this is not me saying gaining weight is a bad thing either, because it's like sometimes gaining weight is very healthy for a person, but I'm talking in the sense of, okay, you gained weight and for you, this is not healthy weight you've gained. And I'm going to talk about it in that context. If you can acknowledge that you gained weight and it's unhealthy for you, so you're wanting to lose that weight, there's nothing wrong with that, but it needs to come from the angle of self-love. Okay, there's a reason that I put this weight on here. It's not healthy. What is the cause of this? Where does it come from? Is it stress? The cortisol levels. I think stress and cortisol, don't quote me on that, but I feel like they're related. Like, is there an element to that there? If so, where is this stress coming from? Or maybe you had some binge eating. Maybe you were binge eating. I personally struggled with binge eating, which is why I'm using this example. Maybe you struggled with binge eating, which caused the weight gain. It's like, okay, instead of just trying to lose the weight, why am I binging? Where does that come from? What are you trying to tell me? It's like coming at it from an angle of self-love and compassion instead of like self-hatred and like trying to like lose the weight to fit in again, to feel better about yourself. So I feel like these people, a lot of them are not willing to do the deeper work. They're not aware. I'm not like blaming these people. It's just sad to me. It's sad to me that these people are basing their worth off of how they look in that way, and they're not looking internally. They're not doing the inner work to see where there might be a wounded part of them that needs love at the end of the day. And societal pressure, man, like the obsession with being skinny. There's been an obsession with thinness for honestly as long as I can remember. I know that curvy bodies and whatnot, thick, like, oh, she thick, which is a terrible, like, it sounds like terrible to say that. But like, my point with that is there was a time where being thicker was in as well. And I just feel like there is a lot more body positivity these days in certain ways, but there's also this obsession of thinness that I don't think has ever fully went away. I hope that makes sense. And I feel like it's coming back in a bigger way again. And it honestly, this obsession to be thin really drives people to do crazy things. It drives people to extreme measures, like to take a supplement that could potentially really harm you over time. There was a story of one woman, I forget her name, and again, I'm not going to talk about anybody specifically in this video, but there was one woman I heard, I think she was an influencer, I forget exactly who this is, to be honest, but she took Ozempic, and she took more than the prescribed dose, because apparently when you take Ozempic, you start out with a smaller dose and with time you increase the dose, and she increased the dose right away because again, she didn't want to wait, she didn't want to be patient, and she almost overdosed. Like, she could have died. She ended up needing to go to the hospital. Like, she called an ambulance. Anyways, like, that's an extreme measure right there. You want to lose weight so badly that you literally put your life on the line. That is scary. And I feel like a lot of people will do, they go to extreme measures to be sick, to be sick. Yeah, it makes you sick to be thinner than what is healthy for them. Like, the black market is coming to mind. Like, I know that there's a lot, like, this Ozempic is being sold now, like, apparently there's, I want to say clones, that's not the right word, but people are selling Ozempic. It's not actually Ozempic, but it's like, there's a word for it, like knockoff brand type of a thing, which I can only imagine is so dangerous. And it's like, people are taking this without doing their research about it. And I just feel like the implications can be devastating. And then it's like social media, these celebrities, these influencers that are endorsing this, and again, just spreading it to young, impressionable minds. People who, again, base their worth on what they look like, because that's also what's perpetuated in society. Upper class celebrities, this, looking a certain way, having all the lavish this, the that, and we feel like we need those things to be happy. We feel like we need to look a certain way. We need to have certain things to be fulfilled, and it's just so toxic. It's so toxic. It's unrealistic. Honestly, I think that a lot of people just don't love themselves. We don't know how to love ourselves properly, which is funny. I want to talk about my self-love series. I need to remember to talk about this at the end of this video. But a lot of people don't know how to love themselves. And I think a lot of these idols that people look up to, they also don't know how to love themselves. And I'm talking generally here. Okay, I'm not saying this for everybody. Don't get me wrong. I think that there are some very good role models out there. With that said, a lot of people who really are in the light, a lot of them are not necessarily who you think they are. A lot of them are portraying this lifestyle that's fake, that's not real. It's a mask, it's glamorized. But what is going on behind the scenes? They have all of these things, but are they really happy? Are they really happy? Because I could argue that if they really were, they wouldn't be taking things like Ozempic to change themselves, to look a certain way. Because that happiness and love should come from within. It's not going to come from anything outside of you. And I think what they're perpetuating is dangerous. And I think at the end of the day, it's because they don't know how to love themselves. And I think it's sad. I think they're seeking for it externally. I think that these people are deeply wounded and unwilling to look at maybe the deeper issues. And I think that maybe sometimes when you are wealthy, you have more money, it can be easier to distract yourself because you have the money to distract yourself with things such as this. I think that people should not put other people on pedestals. I think we need to stop glamorizing all of this. I think that it needs to be talked about. I know that a lot of people talk about, people who hate on it, they're just jealous that they can't afford it. Like, what? People need to start looking within. People need to start learning how to really love themselves. And it's like loving yourself, mind, body, soul, having the self-discipline to love yourself, not just to grab these things that are instant, that will give you this instant gratification, this quick fix, this temporary fix, the hit. It's like a drug. You always needing to go back for more. And then what happens when you don't have it anymore? And this goes for anything. It's not relying on anything outside of you. It's finding that within. It's so important to have a balanced diet, to regularly exercise. This is important for like mental health, movement regularly, balanced diet, nourishing your body. It's not all about losing weight. It's about being healthy. It's about being happy. And I'm not telling you to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and only eat and not be healthy. It's loving your body and giving your body the movement it needs, giving your body the food it needs to nourish your body. And it's knowing that everybody has a different body type, so healthy will look different on different people, and that's okay. And it's loving yourself for who you are. And if you have a body type that doesn't fit within the quote unquote body standards, it's like, it's knowing that the body standards are just a hocus pocus. It's just like a bag of wounds. I don't even know. Like, it's just, I can't even like put words to it, but it's like, fuck body standards. Fuck that shit. Like, excuse my language, but screw that. I think we should be loving ourselves. And that love comes from within, and it's loving the body that you have, and it's treating it with respect, treating your body with respect, I'm sorry, but I don't think that, taking this medication that's going to cause you to rapidly lose weight is treating your body with respect. It's loving yourself. If you need to lose weight because that's what's healthy for you, it's doing it in a way that's respectful for your body. It's loving your body, nourishing your body. It's not judging your body. It's not comparing your body. It's thanking your body for everything that your body does for you. And we haven't been taught how to do that. We've been taught that our worth is based on these unrealistic beauty standards. We've been taught that our worth is based on how successful we are. We're taught that our worth comes from all of these outside things. And I think that narrative really needs to change. At the end of the day, I think that all of these people that are using Ozempic, that are, really wanting to use Ozempic, I think that they're really wounded. I think that they don't know how to love themselves. I think that there's parts of them within that need love and they don't know how to give that love to themselves. I'm not saying they completely don't love themselves, but I think there are wounded parts that need love, and right now they don't know how to give that to themselves. So they're seeking these things outside of themselves to fill that wound within them. And I think that it's dangerous because, again, impressionable minds are seeing this, and it's perpetuating this unrealistic beauty standard, and it gets into a whole web of a mess. At the end of the day, it stems from wounds, and I actually have a lot of compassion for these people because I think that you have to be really lacking something from within if you're going to be glamorizing this, or if you just feel the need to take it. So if you're listening to this and you feel the need to take it, I'm sending you a lot of love. I just challenge you to question why. Have compassion for yourself and understanding, because again, I was there at one point. I genuinely at one point I would have seen Ozempic and I would have wanted that for sure at one point in my life. Absolutely. So it's having compassion and, okay, why do I feel the need for this? Why do I feel the need to have this? And it's not judging yourself for it, just being honest and getting curious. Why do I look up to people who have this body type? Why do I look up to these people who have these things, who perpetuate this lifestyle, and just getting really curious on it. Again, don't judge yourself for it. And if you're listening, just a little bit of an update. So this is I love this podcast. I'm not very consistent in the sense of sometimes I am and I post every week. Sometimes I'll go a couple weeks without posting. This is more I don't know, a video. I don't want to say video diary, but I don't. This is just really fun for me, and I film videos when I feel inspired to, so I don't get too strict on myself when I'm not consistent. I'm consistent with the Multiple Truths podcast. That's the podcast me and my friend Holly host. There is a new episode that comes out every Wednesday. This for me is more so just, I just love it. I love it, but it's not something that I'm super, strict with pumping out every week, because sometimes I'm just not inspired to talk about anything. So I don't want to force myself to talk about something I'm not inspired about. But what has really been inspiring me is my new self-love series. So I'm really dedicating myself to myself from now until December to really level the fuck up and step into this new version of myself. And woo, I'm really excited, and I'm going to be documenting it via YouTube, kind of video diary vlog style. And I'm showing you guys the behind the scenes of my life. I'm showing you guys what healing kind of looks like for me. When I say that, you're going to see it real. You're going to see the good and the ugly. You see me crying, you see me doing embodiment practices, you see me laughing, you kind of see mind, body, spirit as well. I'm going to go to the gym. You're going to see some of the foods that I eat, just kind of all of it. And I'm going to be real with you guys. So if you're interested in that, I'm really feeling excited and passionate about this. So that will be on my YouTube. Yay, definitely check it out if you feel called. And when it comes to this, I'm still going to be posting. Okay, sorry if you're watching, my video cut out there, but I don't know how consistent I will be. Well, I'm going to try to be consistent. My point with that is I'm really putting all my energy into the self-love series. I'm really excited about that. So I don't know how consistent I will be with this podcast currently, but I might still be. I really just don't know. I just want to kind of give you the heads up if it's a little bit more sporadic as of right now. But another thing that I'm really wanting to do is I want to go through all of my old videos and kind of revamp everything. Now, this is going to take time. This is something that I'm going to do hopefully by now till the end of the year. It's kind of a big cleaning out that I want to do in more ways than one, and that includes my social platforms. So that's going to take time, but I'm thinking of reviewing my old videos and either deleting them or keeping them, or potentially remaking a video that I already kind of made. And the reason is because I'm a very different person now. I've changed, I've shifted. So I don't remember exactly what I talked about before. Not saying I like completely disagree with my videos from the past. That's not what I'm saying. Like I said, I might completely agree and like want to keep them up, but I have, my perspective has shifted a little bit with things in a way. So I just want to rewatch and see if there's anything that I want to, either like remake a video on, or, I have a higher perspective now because I've grown as a person, right? We're always changing, growing, and evolving. So if there's anything I want to add to anything, so just for the heads up, I'm going to be kind of doing that as well slowly. So I'm just kind of revamping everything a little bit. And that includes with the going beyond, I'm kind of like revamping. So it's in like a transitional phase right now. I'm going to leave this video there. Let me know what you thought of today's video. This was, I guess, a little different than like my other podcasts in a way, but let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you want me to like talk about these things more, things that might be like a fad in society or, anything like that. And if there is something you would like to hear my perspective on, definitely like leave it in the comments below. I really, really appreciate that. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not yet subscribed, it would mean the world to me if you hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my other social platforms. Join the Beehive if that's something you're called to, of course. And until next time, bye.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion.